Hello, Josephine. How are you today?
Hi, Emily. Good to see you again.
Okay, so welcome to the third day of the week 2 of our program, Build Your Result for 2021 and Ignite Your Fire. This week is all about fire. And in the first 2 days, we saw the importance of tracking your expenses. Why? Because this allows you to have a perfect clarity on your budget. You know exactly where your money goes and you manage to break it down into categories. And then the second day, we talked about the 6 steps to financial freedom, and you shared with us the pyramid of the expenses, and we asked everybody to start prioritizing their expenses according to their priorities in life. So there is something very important in the FIRE method, Josephine. It's the fact that you have to save money. So we decided to make today a whole session on saving, and tomorrow what to do with your savings. So we will talk about investing your money. So saving, do you want to tell us maybe what you are going to talk about today and why it is important?
Yes. So I talk about why it is so important to save. And then I talk about some strategies, how you can implement a better saving in your life. And so we start with why you have to save. It might sound a little bit boring, saving is like, it's not interesting. It's like you think about the boring bank employee sitting there and telling you that you need to save more, or your mom or your father, whatever. But actually, if you really do it strategically, and if you know about how you can save better, it can be quite fun. Yeah. So I think I want to contribute to more fun in your saving strategy. Why is saving so important? Saving allows you to have the freedom in your life. It's really about freedom, not to have to earn money immediately. Like when you have a emergency fund and you have even a bit more than the emergency we talked about in one of our first sessions, then you have so much more freedom in your life, and you don't have to jump on the next job, or you have to beg for money and ask for money. You really have the freedom to relax, to breathe, and to say, okay, what do I do next? Yeah, it gives you a lot of, it's really peace of mind. I think it's really like a mental thing. And why is saving so important as well? It is like starting as early as possible in your life. I'm not saying that it's too late. You can even start when you are in your 50s or even in your 60s. It's never too late to start saving. But the younger you are, the better it is for you to save, and the less you actually have to save on a monthly basis. And I will come to this point in our next session when we talk about investment strategy. But you will hear more about the compound interest effect, but I'm not talking about this today. I'm just remember that the earlier you start in your life, the less you have to save, and the more benefits you will have later in your life.
So I just want to say 2 things. First of all, the way I used to do it is I used to save in 2 ways. Like I used to save because I wanted to buy something. So I had an incentive because I said, oh, I want to buy, I don't know, a beautiful whatever pair of earrings or I don't know what. And so I was saving to spend the money. Or also the way I would save was by investing in something like, let's say I took a bank loan to invest in a property, and this I considered was a saving, and then I was done with it. Is this correct? Are these 2 things correct? Or is this totally wrong? Is this not the way you have to think about your savings?
I think the second point, like investing in your bank loan to buy some real estate, that is actually I consider to be saving as well, because you pay back your loan, and it's not a consumption loan. It's not like a short term, more than 10% interest rate loan, but it's like a long term investment, and that is definitely considered to be saving. But if you save, like to buy your next pair of beautiful Chanel sunglasses, No, this is not saving,
Okay.
like how I consider to be saving. Saving is really more for your, it's for your long-term peace of mind and freedom.
What are the, so what's the strategy now for saving in the next 5 minutes?
So we have, 5 minutes. So really save at the beginning of each month. Don't save at the end of each month, save at the beginning, so you have no excuses not to save and to spend your budget otherwise. This
so
is really...
how much, sorry, because you know, the Ken Honda, which I have already mentioned before, says that you have to live off 90% of your salary, and you should put all your life long, and you should start educating your children really early about that. Whatever money comes in, you have a birthday gift, you have your first salary, whatever, you inherit some money, you put 10% on the side your whole life long. And he always says, imagine how relaxed you would be today if you, for your whole life, you had saved 10% of your income. Do you think this is good?
Yes, it's a good starting point. I think if you really want to be financially independent as early as possible, you need to save more than 10%, but it's a very good starting point.
Okay.
And it's like, yeah, it's great if you do that already. So include savings in your monthly budget, and then don't start as early as possible. And if something else, if you are an employee, really negotiate higher salaries every year. I'm not saying every 2 years, every 3 years, every year. I was, you know, I have my own company, and I had employees in my company, and some of them were always coming to me in February. Oh, Josephine, I want a higher salary. Can we have a meeting? I want to negotiate my salary. And those who did it always received a higher salary, and the ones who did not necessarily get the higher salary. So I think it's very powerful if you go to your employer, your boss, and ask for and negotiate and prepare how to negotiate a higher salary. But this, become a tax champion and understand your country's tax system. Every tax system is different in every country, but you really have to understand your tax system, and it can be quite interesting. There are many books, YouTube videos. You don't have to be an expert, but it's good if you really know about taxes. And don't be trapped by the temptation of lifestyle inflation. For example, as a student, you live very cheap with flatmates and you cook at home. And then the moment you earn your first salary, you move to a larger house, you buy a big flat screen TV and expensive cars and furniture and fashion and so on. But don't be trapped by this lifestyle inflation. You can actually, if you earn more in any stage of your life, you can try to live the same standard as before and increase your saving rate. And then finally save by prioritizing your spending. So spend money for things that really truly matter to you. We talked about it already, but save in other areas. Like you can look at the priority, at my priority in the workshop, in the workbook, if you need some inspiration. And finally, I think this is one of the most powerful recommendations. Try not to compete with your social peer group. So in the US, they talk about keep up with the Jones problem or keep up with the neighbors. You really don't need the most expensive handbag and the fanciest car of the neighborhood. In general, think about it and realize that this is not what makes you happy. It doesn't make you happy. Mm-hmm. There are many other things in life that make you happy. And be proud and happy for what you are doing for your financial freedom and your peace of mind and for your independence. This is
okay, Josephine, fantastic. So the tasks now for the day, we have two things that we want everybody to do. The first thing is to think about the three things or the three categories of spendings where they could save some money. But it can be small things. You will give us some tips, I know, on the last day, but you always give me this example of not going to Starbucks, for instance, because if you go to Starbucks every day, or you eat out, or you buy some sandwiches or whatever for lunch every day, at the end of the month, it really adds up. And you could end up by, just by not doing this, you can end up saving a few $100s per month by not eating out and not spending so much money on Starbucks. So everybody has to go in and look at the way they spend their money and find 3 areas where they can save some money. And the second thing is now to go back at the budget and to figure out if it is possible to live out of 90% of their budget to start with.
Yes. I'm just saying, perfect.
Okay. So thank you very much, Josefine. And tomorrow we will talk about what to do with these savings. Now that we have this money, what do we do with it, and how do we invest it? Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you. And see you tomorrow. Bye.